Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to use EBSCOhost search. This is a really great option if whatever it is you're looking for is hard to find on some of those databases where they're very topic-based, so like opposing viewpoints. It can be really hard to just search for things on that, but this one is really good for just straight up searching for things. There are some ins and outs of how to use it, so I'll go over those. So I'm going to be looking into the juvenile justice system, and something that I'm looking for in my search is specifically rehabilitation and intervention programs rather than putting people into the juvenile justice system. So the first thing I'm going to do is a quick keyword search for the juvenile justice system, and it's right here, so I'll just click on it. And this keyword search kind of gives me a picture of what I can expect. I didn't get as many results as I expected because this database covers several other EBSCO databases, so I expected a larger number than this. So that might show that what I'm searching is a little too specific, but I might still find things. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll through here and see if there's anything I see. And remember that on EBSCO databases, most of them, you have these subject terms that you can look at. And so it would be a good idea to have a piece of paper or something to jot down some other keywords you might look for. So I've already seen the word intervention. That's something I would be interested in looking at. So I'm just going to keep on scrolling. Here's some stuff about inequality, which isn't really what we're looking for. So here is something about mental health in the juvenile justice system, and it talks specifically here about treatment and rehabilitation, and that's something I'm interested in. Now, this is a good place to start looking at subjects. So I'm seeing juvenile justice, so maybe I need to take the word system out of my search. I'm seeing youth, so that would be a good subject to look at. Rehabilitation, intervention. It kind of goes over some cultural things. That's not really what I'm writing about. And then I don't really see a lot of other things that I might specifically be looking for, but those are the things that I'm interested in looking at are rehabilitation and intervention rather than juvenile justice. So it might be worth looking at this article. I do want to point out that this one you see doesn't have a little link like some of the others do that say like PDF full text or HTML full text. And that's because this is searching the ERIC database. So I have to click on this link that says full text from ERIC. If I click up here, it's just going to give me a description of the article. So you need to click on this link here. It'll transfer me to ERIC. And then over here on the right, I have a link to see the full text. And so here's my PDF. This in particular is a academic journal article, so the language might be a little too much, but I can also search through it for specific things. So for instance, if I click Control F, I get up here where I can search, and if I specifically want to look at every time they mention rehabilitation, I'll do that. And as you click these arrows, it will take you through the article and show you every mention of rehabilitation. And so I'm starting to see some things where it's talking about how mental health is complicating rehabilitation efforts. And it's talking about some percentage disparities of people who are in juvenile correction facilities, and there are more of them with mental health issues or disabilities than there are in public schools. So this is a really good statistic that I pulled here, and I didn't really have to read the super hard article to find it. I just had to know what to look for. If that seems a little overwhelming and you don't think you're ready to look at academic journals quite yet, that's fine. There are some other things you can do. So over here on the side, we have our refine results area, and it'll tell you right here what your current search looks like. So The only thing that I've told it is that I'm looking for stuff on the juvenile justice system and full text articles, and that's always good. You can change your publication date here to get some different publication dates, and then here's source type. So if you are the type that is like, I don't want to look at academic journals, you can choose some of these others. And they, on this database, have something called a subject thesaurus term. So it'll give you similar terms to what you searched that are subject terms within the databases. So I'm going to look at that. And I'm finding the rehabilitation of criminals. That's something I'm interested in. I don't see intervention anywhere, and I've gotten to really small numbers, so I'm going to go ahead and update. Now I'm only looking at 44 articles, so that's a lot easier to work with. So as I scroll through here, again, I can start looking at some of this. What do I need to be looking for specifically? Restorative justice seems to be something. Juvenile delinquency, juvenile delinquents. And now I'm starting to get new practices in juvenile justice. So this is specifically talking about, it looks like it's going to talk about rehabilitation efforts rather than about putting students in juvenile detention centers. So I might click on that PDF full text and see what this article has to say. And if I like it, then I'll just come over here and click this Google Drive button. It will ask me, it's going to ask me which account I'm using because I'm logged into two. And then it should pop up and say my document's been saved to my Google Drive account. So the other thing you need to do is grab your citation because these articles often do not get saved with citations. So I'll scroll down to MLA, I'll copy that, and then I can paste that into my Works Cited or wherever I need to use this. And now I have found my first article. I'm going to go back to our results list just so I can show you that you still have the subject option. So you can see if there's any more specific things you could do. It doesn't look like there are right now, but probably before I changed this over to rehabilitation of criminals, I bet that I had a lot more subject options here. And you still have some thesaurus term options. So these are really good ways to refine your search and specifically look at what it is you're looking for. Since I saw restorative justice, I might be interested in looking at these 4 articles and just see what they have to say. And that is pretty much how it works. There is an advanced search, but because they have these awesome refining options on the side, I find that using advanced search doesn't really matter so much. The only time you would do that is if you specifically wanted to search for keywords within a subject term. You can choose advanced search, and then you can change whatever it was. So if I remember seeing that juvenile justice was its own subject term, so I would change that to subject terms, search for juvenile justice, and then start looking at something like intervention. So I'm going to keyword search intervention and see kind of what I get. And this way I get some different articles and maybe find more of what I'm looking for. But that's really only when it's necessary, and maybe if you're trying to get rid of something. So in particular, if I were not interested in this article about homelessness, I could say not, and I could put homelessness here, and I should be able to get rid of articles that are about homelessness, and it'll reduce my results a little bit. So that is how you search within EBSCOhost. And if you have any questions or need some help, you can always find me in the library.